A concept for the sustainable design systems is called the Urban Muse. It's a seasonless women's wear line designed for the younger audience, exploring sustainability through versatility, layering, and adjustable designs. The collection focuses on elevated basics using sustainable materials such as organic cotton, Pinatex, and Tencel. My consumer is a Gen Z woman living in the city. She's drawn to aesthetic niche brands like With Jean, Free People, and Peachy Den, brands that are stylish but often expensive. She shops infrequently to be cost-effective and avoid fast microtrend cycles, but she struggles to find good quality, affordable, ethical clothing that fits her creative style. Her look reflects city vibrancy. She loves layering, mixing light and heavy textures, experimenting with colorful, balanced outfits. Urban Muse represents Gen Z's expressive approach to dressing, fluid, aesthetic, and mood-driven. It's inspired by the textures, layers, and movement of the city, turning everyday urban details into wearable designs. I researched urban textures that are often overlooked: ripped billboards, painted road markings, tiled walls, all colourful and layered. These subtle urban designs became the visual language for my collection's textures and surfaces. For my competitor research, I studied M&S. M&S is the second largest UK retailer, focusing on quality, convenience, and sustainability. They strive for the zero-waste movement, ethical sourcing, appealing mainly to the older demographic, but increasingly attracting younger Gen Z consumers through digital marketing. For my competitor research, I also studied ASOS. ASOS targets the younger market with a trend-driven multi-brand approach and a strong online presence. Their Fashion with Integrity initiative reflects a move towards circular designs. Using materials like recycled and organic cotton, Tencel, and MMCF fibers sourced from agricultural byproducts in a well-managed forest. They also highlight recycled denim and animal welfare standards. Next targets a middle to higher class demographic, known for versatile, quality-driven designs at accessible prices. The brand's family-friendly, trustworthy image extends nationwide, but is also starting to attract younger consumers. Next, classic silhouettes, subtle embellishments, and layering creates timeless appeal. Sustainably, they focus on responsibly sourced cotton, water-saving denim processes, and biomaterials. However, Next could push further, introducing innovative fabrics like Pinatex, Refiber, and recycled nylon, and developing a Gen Z sub-label focused on circular designs and zero-waste production. To stay seasonless, I researched Spring-Summer 26 and Autumn-Winter 26 trends. Unexpected volume with bubble hems and fluid skirts, rich textured layering with sheer fabrics, mesh overlays with relaxed tailoring, peplum, and crop jackets. Heritage materials like tweed, tartan, and structured cottons also reappeared on the runway, whilst unconventional fabrics added movement and transparency. In the Sanderson Zero Waste Drapery workshop, I experimented with pinning and folding to create organic movement. I specifically like this drapery where I folded the bottom of the fabric to the neckline. The layer of the fabric and the motion of the fabric correlated with the bustling of the city, and I think connected with my work most. Vivienne Westwood's Zero Waste workshop deepened my understanding of subtractive pattern cutting and how zero waste systems can still look refined and modern. I started exploring urban city wear, specifically workers, as tailoring came up a lot as a trend for next year. Looking into silhouettes, I took sharp structures into account alongside oversized and yet balanced, relaxed forms. Furthering my research on sharp silhouettes, I drew inspiration from the 80s workwear silhouettes. Their functional, tailored yet adaptable structures reimagined through modern sustainable materials like Pinatex for structure and light chiffon for balance. Deciding to merge the two together, I decided to look at modern-day urban casual wear and look at a style analysis. Studying pops of vibrancy in structures and layering in fabrics. Colourful leathers can be used, such as Pinatex, as it's known for its durability and protectivity, as its functional material, while stripes and tweeds show durable structures and sophistication in versatile garments. To develop my research, I captured my own city photography for textural inspiration, then translated those visuals into observational drawings. Metal railings, street markings, and billboard rips informed asymmetric shapes, folded layers, and overlapping silhouettes of my designs. I did some mini mannequin drapery on some silhouettes I liked from my research, such as layering, the 80s structures, and the drapery. I also did some fabric swatches that I thought correlated with my concept. I was particularly interested in asymmetry and overlapping layers, which I used to mirror that sense of urban layering and fragmentation. These elements also became a way to explore versatility and movement within the garment, showing how practical construction can still look refined and intentional. For fabric choices, I chose Pinatex for its light structure and durability, making it suitable for cooler weather, and paired it with chiffon, which adds breathability and contrast for warm seasons. Together they create a seasonless balance between structure and softness. The overall look with asymmetric fastening and layering hem embodies the balance between practicality and aesthetic refinement. In this stage of development, I began exploring fastenings and hardware as a way to bring functionality and narrative into my designs. I was inspired by the interlocking ornate loops seen in urban architectural details, like iron fences and balcony railings. I liked how their metal forms curve and soften the otherwise rigid structures of the city. Translating this into garments, I began experimenting with frog clasps, lobster clasps. These fastenings also became symbolic of the connectivity of city life, whilst also echoing my earlier research in layering and overlapping of billboards, creating a sense of asymmetry and movement. By playing with placement and proportion, I wanted to show adaptability and self-expression, key traits of the urban muse. These experimentations also reflect a shift towards versatility in layering, reinvention of traditional fastenings, through more modern, expressive applications. Playing with my development sketches, I refined them and decided what colour would be more appealing to the younger consumers, and I analysed what I liked and didn't like by making a line-up draft. My colour palette ended up being cool but vibrant tones for sophisticated yet youthful feel, inspired by urban light and materials. My first look is an asymmetric Pinatex jacket with a sheer chiffon skirt layered trousers. It features cool and contrasting tones for a sophisticated dynamic. The Pinatex is a natural leather alternative which is light while the chiffon emphasizes movement. My second look is a light sheer knitted long sleeve made with organic cotton and yellow stripes to replicate street markings. The chiffon skirt contrasts with the knit, creating versatility. The bright colours contrast with the browns to highlight the vibrant city with industrial aspects. Look 3 is a canvas long-sleeve top with structural asymmetrical neckline. The versatility is displayed through the buttoning, holding the structure together. The skirt is form-fitting yet fluid at the same time, with the light layer on top to add a sense of movement. Look 4 colours are based on the trend for next year, with the turquoise and hues of greys and pinks to create a playful palette to attract the younger audiences. The overlapping layers reflect the rhythm of the city, balanced with the low-knee denim capris to create versatility. Taking inspiration from the drapery, I mimicked the layering of modern city wear, paired with double-layered pocket trousers, ornated with buttons for adjustability. It mimics utility trousers. This look is a light, flowy linens to balance the heavy garments, featuring warmer and cool-toned colours to contrast each other. Look 6 highlights workwear staples. The structural organic cotton long sleeve features a deep V with an overlap with balloon sleeves mimicking the 80s structures. The low-rise capris balance the garment structurally and through its woven tweed fabric. I began working with half-scale mannequins to explore proportion and silhouettes. The first twirl showed that the sleeves were too narrow and didn't create the relaxed look I wanted, so I scaled up the sleeve volume and also shifted to a lightweight jersey fabric to make the half-scale twirling process easier. From there, the second twirl brought me closer to the shape I was looking for, with a better body volume and movement. At this point, I began refining the balance between practicality and structural form. I adjusted the pattern to create a more asymmetric front, and I played with the collar forms and front closure placements to create a look that feels intentional but still relaxed. Not too rigid but not too slouchy either. The aim was a baggy structure with a fitted sense of length, emphasizing comfort without losing form. This is why I really started focusing on styling choices that reflects the concept of the urban muse, someone who layers garments that shift with their pace and environment. At this stage, I evaluated how the jacket performs. I identified that the button placement was reversed, which interrupted the function. I also noticed that the back length and hem were creating unwanted curvatures, so I reshaped that area for a cleaner finish. My preference was to move the asymmetric opening to the opposite side. The stage was about fine-tuning details to ensure that the garment feels considered and intentional. I plan to finish my sleeve edges with a neat cover seam to maintain a clean appearance. Seam allowance treatment will be finished using an overlock stitching to reinforce durability. I also made a decision about the button sleeve end, which stitching technique best support comfort and structure?